Hey, welcome guys. We'll be discussing OpenStack today. As you probably already know, what is OpenStack? If you can, you've heard me talk about it briefly in the past. So if you can please tell me what OpenStack is to you, what does it mean to you? What exactly does it do for people who use OpenStack? Can you tell me like in one sentence? Any of you?
I would say that it's a tool to control our cloud. It's a control panel.
Right? What else it is? You compare that OpenStack with any of these things here in the Amazon Cloud Services, what would it map to? What do you map OpenStack to what? Primarily, you can map OpenStack to this aspect called EC2.
EC2?
Yeah.
Yeah, EC2.
So EC2 is a very good primary mapping to what OpenStack does. It also does other things. It is expanding to cover some other aspects of EC2 also. But
is it elastic? Does it do elastic?
Yes, it does. You can grow and shrink. It is essentially infrastructure as a service solution, which is slowly expanding and providing other solutions as well, such as database as a service is also coming along. However, the whole focus is infrastructure as a service. And a good example of that would be this EC2 item, which is here. EC2, Elastic Compute Cloud. We have used this in the past. And here what we do is we can create and delete machines in the cloud, put key pairs, set security groups, and start machines and use them as and when we need them to be, and grow them, shrink them as on demand, depending on what the need is. So that's what an infrastructure as a service is going to be able to do for us. Other examples are, Rackspace Cloud, DigitalOcean Cloud that you may have seen, and a variety of these types of services provide you infrastructure as a service. So if you summarize again in OpenStack, what this does is it manages large pool of compute, storage, and networking resources in a data center. So if you think about OpenStack software itself, you're essentially managing compute, storage, and networking elements. Got it?
Right.
The three things, these constitute your infrastructure. Compute, storage, and networking, you're managing through some kind of a dashboard. You know how the dashboard looks like? If you remember, go to tristack.org, and I think most of you have an account there through this Facebook group. So you log in with Facebook, and when you do, you visit the TriStack portal. This portal is what is called the dashboard hold on, let me get there. I'm going to put this window aside on somewhere on the side. It's coming in the way. So I'm trying to minimize it. There we go.
I don't see your screen anymore.
You don't see my screen in
Fuse.
In Fuse. Huh. Okay.
Your Fuse is no longer being shared with us, I believe. Is that correct? Go back.
Okay, how about now?
Yeah,
it's coming up now.
You should be back. So what I'm describing to you is that this aspect of infrastructure as a service, meaning you're looking at machines like these that you remember, like DigitalOcean droplets you create, and you're able to size the machine, select a region, select a machine image, add a key, and create a droplet. That sequence of flow. Similar to that, in OpenStack, you can also do the same. Create an instance. So you click on an instance, launch an instance. It looks different, but you can give it a name, say hello, and select an image source, and select a choice of image that you may want, and then you launch the instance. That's how it goes. The only difference between this
So
TriStack,
the
which is,
instance actually,
go ahead.
the instance is actually created in OpenStack cloud, or is that in like an EC2, or is it outsourced somewhere?
It is created inside OpenStack. The box you put, you'll get a box, you put OpenStack software on top. The instance gets created inside that box.
Okay, so whatever box it is, doesn't matter what, like whether it, I guess what I'm trying to see is that box like you were going to do it on your computer.
Right, I'll bring a box.
But it's not.
I'll bring a box and then install OpenStack and then use it. And so when I use it and I launch an instance, that instance is getting created right on that box that I bring, and that runs OpenStack.
Can you also do this to launch instances on a box in EC2 Cloud, or
So EC2
that
Cloud,
doesn't make sense? That wouldn't work.
If you want to create a box in the EC2
That's what I'm
Cloud,
trying to.
you need to go here.
Right. So okay. So where is the physical? Where's the physical thing that you're creating located at? Like with EC2, it's in Oregon. We know that our there's a server or cloud hub in Oregon where our actual stuff is being created, and we're running a computer there in Oregon.
Right. So in OpenStack, it is in your room.
Okay, so it's actually your machine.
Right. That's what a private cloud is.
Okay, so OpenStack is for private cloud, but it can also be hybrid. Is that correct?
You can also create a public cloud out of it, out of a OpenStack deployment. And here is one example.
And that would be launched or something like that.
Yeah, here is an example. This is Rackspace, the company, and they have used OpenStack to deploy a public cloud. You understand that?
Yes, I guess so.
Yep.
So when you actually, I guess I'm trying to see how, what I'm trying to wrap my head around is how when I do a private cloud, obviously that's going to be on a computer that I own or a server that I own. And then from there, it's going to go to boost out into a hybrid cloud or a public cloud. It's going to have to go to where would that, does it matter what service I use, or is it a specific service like EC2 or DigitalOcean that actually would be running the? It
absolutely matters. Let's talk about a very, very specific case by case. So we are creating a machine. Right now we are looking at a website. This is HP Cloud, right? What do you see? You see that I am logged in here, and then that I can come here and create an instance by clicking this button, launch an instance button like this, and see how it looks like. It looks like what you see here, right? You get an availability zone. You put a name here. You call it Nilesh. You select a size, a flavor, and you select a boot source, an image, and you select an image itself. So I'll say I want to say Ubuntu Lucid, and then I can launch an instance. So this is a software available on HP Cloud in HP's building somewhere, and they are letting us use it because I paid them money and they created an account with them. So they're letting me use their OpenStack setup that they have chosen to deploy that OpenStack in a public environment. That makes it a public cloud. The fact that they are exposing it to the public, anybody can create an account and use it, makes it a public cloud.
Right.
This software is OpenStack. Now let us compare the exact same thing with TriStack. And so I will go to TriStack website. I will go TriStack. And this is the TriStack website, which I have an account, which all of you also have an account. We get it from Facebook, membership in the Facebook group. And this is also OpenStack. It looks exactly like HP Cloud, right? Except that this has a different availability zone called Nova, and you can put in a name here, Aaron, and you can select a flavor, small, medium, large, and you can select a source like image and select Ubuntu, and then use launch an instance. This instance will get launched. Where? Where will it get launched? In the TriStack.
On the computers that I have OpenStack.
No, this will go to TriStack.
Oh, this one, yeah, it's TriStack. Yeah.
Now, if I have a laptop or a big desktop or a big server setup, wherever I have, if I install OpenStack software on that box or that set of boxes, it becomes my personal, very own private cloud. And when I will come to the class, I will show you, we will disconnect from the internet and still start a server, still manage it just like we are managing it.
When you have that private cloud of yours, would you still be able to say my machine is in Rally Point 6 because that's where we'll set it up? But if you went all the way back to Sammamish, would you be able to still access your cloud?
Yes. So accessing is a different topic from the fact that it is my private property makes it a public, makes it a private cloud. The fact that I can access it from Sammamish or access it from Rally Point 6, it is still only me who can access it because it is, I control access.
Right.
It still remains private.
Got it.
Even though I like deploy a cloud in my home in India and I can access it from here in Sammamish, it is still a private cloud. It is private to me. Even though it is outside my building, it is still private to me. Right? So
it still operates like a cloud and not a server. So you can operate it from anywhere.
So the difference between a data center server and a cloud-based server is very simple. Think of it as this. You know, pet versus cattle. Do you understand the concept?
No, cow. I've never heard of it.
So what is this idea that I'm describing? Can you tell me? Pet versus cattle. The idea is that if I have a pet, like think of it as a dog, a sick puppy. You know, if a puppy gets sick, it takes a family of 3 to take care of it. Right?
Yeah.
And that's what a data center server is. A server in your office, server in your data center. You take care of it like a puppy. You manage it, you fix it, you update it, you take care of it, you feed it. And you basically do the whole thing for the pet.
Okay, right. And if it's a cattle, you just shoot it in the head.
Bingo.
You just kill it.
So that's what a cloud server is. That's what
Every time you talk about killing a soldier, we'll remember it.
Huh? Sorry?
I'm just kidding. I said, anytime you talk about killing something with a soldier, we'll remember it.
Yes. So cattle in this is kind of at least in Hinduism, I would not use this analogy because Hindus consider cattle and cow as God, so they don't like this idea. So forget the religion part. The discussion holds good. You know, think of a Texas cowboy, and he can maybe manage 10,000 cattle all comfortably all day long, and while managing, to take this 10,000 cattle from point A to point B, he can do that all alone while drinking whiskey. Because he knows how to do that. Like if a particular cattle doesn't behave properly, you know what he'll do. Yeah. So that's the idea behind cattle versus pets. And so if you
The pets will be the private cloud and the cattle will be private and the public cloud.
Pets would
No.
be data center, old style data center.
Okay.
Servers.
A pet is like my laptop, my
Okay.
iPhone, right? I'll take care of it. I'll update it, manage it, make sure settings are accurate, make sure apps are up to date, make sure things are running. That's what a server is in the data center. It is like a pet. You have an issue, you have to take care of it. In case of a cloud infrastructure, if it is private or public, doesn't even matter. But the idea is it is disposable. You shoot it in the head and move along. Create a new one if you want. All it takes is 2 cents per hour, right?
Mhm.
That's the discussion primarily about pet versus cattle that you should read. There are lots of writings about this topic, and
Could you post that in the classroom again if you already did, just so it's refreshed at the top?
I will do that. I'll go to Classroom and post it right there. And also mention a quick link saying that pets are like old style servers in your data center. Rather, old style servers in your data center are like pets. And cloud instances, no matter private or public or, or hybrid, are like cattle. Pets versus cattle. Post. So whether it is a public cloud or private cloud or whatever cloud or my own machine in my home or office or a Rally Point 6 or at Redapt data center or any other company data center that is in their premises, they're not letting other people access it, but just them, it becomes a private cloud. You can create private clouds using OpenStack. When you do create a machine in that private cloud like this, launch an instance, it gets created on that box, wherever that box is sitting. So if it is your machine in your office, it gets created inside that machine in the office. If it is in...
So we could get a Chrome box and put OpenStack on it? Is that
not
true or not?
Not Chromebox. No, Chromebox you cannot.
Okay, why is that?
The simple answer is that if you study OpenStack requirements, it says what is needed to make it install. So here are the requirements. So technical user requirements, technical requirements. This is what you need. So if you want to look at a prescriptive example, you will need machines like these to make it happen. Let me go very, very specific. I think introduction.
Weird, my screen went black. Anybody else's screen go black?
Screen went black.
No.
You see?
So Chromebox, to be specific, Chromebox is a lockdown system. If you look at Chromebox,
I'm gonna exit. I'll come right back.
So what I'm saying is Chromebox is a lockdown system. You cannot mess around with it. You cannot do whatever you want with it unless you do something specific like Crouton. Like this GitHub Crouton, if you run this, then you can open up Chromebox and do all sorts of things. But that is not supported by Google. So Google doesn't like this to be available this is not the design point. This is not what they wanted to use Chromeboxes for. But if you want to do whatever you want with a Chromebox, this is what you would do. But this is not supported by Google. So therefore, it doesn't work on Chromebox. You should not go this route. Do not do this unless you are geeking out and want to hack your Chromebox. You can go this route and do it. but that is not what businesses do.
What did I miss? What was the things that I couldn't do?
You cannot do whatever you want on Chromebox or Chromebooks.
Okay.
If you really want to do it, then you use this software. It will let you do that, but this is not supported. This is like jailbreaking, if you will.
Oh, cool. I like that.
Jailbreaking Chromeboxes. This is how you go. But this is not supported by Google, so they don't want you to install anything else apart from what they give you. So that's the reason why
Right.
Chromebox is not a good idea for deploying OpenStack. You should get basic machines in. I'll exactly identify what is needed to run OpenStack, and you can run it yourself. No big deal there. And when you install that OpenStack setup,
you can't do it on. It has to be a machine. You couldn't do it on a time machine. You can't just put it on a hard drive and expect it to run because there's no CPU.
Correct. That you have to dedicate a full computer just for OpenStack with nothing else, no Windows, no Linux, no Mac, no nothing else. You have to build up an operating system such as Linux and then add OpenStack on top. And that machine gets dedicated to your cloud. That becomes your cloud. You can call it private, or you can start selling and call it public. The difference between a private cloud and public cloud essentially is if you have a large number of computers, you will install some software on like OpenStack on there. If you keep it to you, it remains private cloud. If you expose it to public and start renting it, it becomes a public cloud. Was it simple to understand the difference between public and private cloud from a perspective of, say, the company HP? If they have a bunch of boxes, server boxes sitting, they will install OpenStack on all of these boxes and keep them to themselves. That becomes their private cloud. If they expose that OpenStack to public outside and start renting instances, like here, this is HP Cloud, and they can rent instances like this to me, then it becomes public cloud. Same thing becomes public cloud. Do you understand the difference now?
So, totally. So I'm going to use my other laptop, install OpenStack on it, and run a private cloud from my house.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Do that.
Yeah, you should. You absolutely should. Totally do that. I will walk you through right here. Here are step-by-step instructions how to do that here. Let's do that.
So I can see that it's a benefit in many, many different ways.
Correct. It is. The most important benefit is to let you firsthand experience with OpenStack on your own laptop. If you have a spare laptop, go right away. Go right away and install these things. There are 3 steps. It's very easy. Takes an hour. Here it is. I'm posting it on Classroom.
And can you post that in the class? Oh,
It's
awesome.
going right there.
Thank you.
It's going right there. Where is Classroom? Okay, where did Classroom disappear? So it says install OpenStack on your spare machine. Three steps to destroy your computer and install The 3 steps to destroy your spare computer and install OpenStack private cloud on your own. And here it is.
So we can't do it unless we destroy it.
Huh? I did not understand.
We have to
You
destroy the
partition?
computer.
have to destroy the whole box.
Oh, you can't make a partition and
No.
use it as a blank machine on the partition.
You can. Yes, technically you
Like-
can, but it's easier to just dedicate the whole box.
Okay.
If you know what you're doing, you can do lots of things. The easiest way is this.
Got it. I like challenges.
So if you want a challenge, I will give you a machine. The machine you had, you can do it on that machine. I have already done it on that machine, by the way.
Okay.
This is what I have done already. And it is working, and I will show it to you next time we meet, which is Tuesday, right? Yeah. So
Yes.
in quick summary on this step that you want to do is you want to find a machine that you can afford to destroy.
Excuse me.
Destroy doesn't actually destroy, it just wipes the whole thing out. Like nothing will work. When
And
you,
if you want to reinstall everything, then you can do it later on.
yeah, you can reinstall the whole thing, like we bring Windows back or bring any other OS back. You can do that.
Okay.
But destroy means destroy the software, not the hardware, just the software. You destroy the whole software, wipe it completely clean, like nothing works, like nothing even won't even boot. From that point onward, beyond, you need to begin from that point. And you need a machine you can destroy, a router in your home, an hour of time, internet connection, another working computer. So you can connect to OpenStack and use it. That's what is needed. Here is how you do it. There are 3 steps. Takes an hour. And the steps are, you basically grab an ISO file from Red Hat or CentOS or Fedora or one of these guys. So one of these 3 choices. So the steps again are, you grab an ISO from CentOS or Scientific Linux or Fedora 20 and 64-bit OS architecture. And then boot from that USB stick, the ISO file that you will burn on a USB stick. You boot from that USB and install CentOS on that hardware, on the laptop that you have or the hardware that you may have, the spare destroyable hardware. And then once that thing is ready, you do step number 1, step number 2, and step number 3, and you're done. And you have a working functional OpenStack, just like you have here from HP, or just like you have here from TriStack. That's the idea. So it lets you create cloud, private or public. The difference between private and public cloud essentially is whether you will use it for yourself or you will let other people rent it.
So if I have public cloud, can I deploy the hybrid?
So can I ask you to ask you a question again, please?
Yeah. If I have a public cloud, can I do the hybrid deployment, or I have to have private cloud to do hybrid?
So the word hybrid has variety of meanings. A simple meaning is, let's see. We'll ask Dilbert. Okay. And so here is the answer.
Ask Gilbert.
I need you to explain the concept of hybrid cloud in simple terms. So what's the answer?
Hybrid cloud is a technology you don't understand. No.
So what exactly hybrid cloud is it's a combination of 2 things. And 2 things can be any 2 things. For example, it can be a combination of a private cloud and a public cloud, or two public cloud providers, or two private cloud providers from one company and the other company. If you mix and match, anytime you mix and match, it becomes hybrid. That's the general purpose definition. Most cases, what happens is people want to have control in their company. They want to keep the things private. And so they deploy something like OpenStack in their company, inside their company, make a private cloud, and run their business. Occasionally, when there is huge demand, they cannot randomly go out and buy hardware. It takes a lot of money. And so once in a while, if you need some more capacity, what would you do?
You expand into a public cloud.
That's right. I have a car, I use it every day. Suddenly I have visitors. And so let's say, all of you decide to visit my home, and I need to bring you from wherever you are to my home. So what do I do now?
Rent a van.
That's right. Rent a public van as opposed to my own car, right? Cannot fit everybody, all of you, if I invite you to my home. So I need to find another method. That method is going out, asking somebody for help. Hey, will you please help? And then that external entity is providing me some public service, which I am renting. And that is the model of a public cloud, private cloud mixture. So I can still have some people sit with me in the car and drive them around to my home, and everybody else who could not fit in the car, I can maybe offload them to a van and have the rest of the people all come, or maybe a limo, depending on whatever price point that you would look at. You can get a limo, get a van, get a bullock cart, depending on what you want to get. You can essentially pay whatever price point you want and get appropriate vehicular capacity. You add on to your infrastructure and continue to do your work. When the party is over, people want to do whatever they want, and so they go away. And in that case, you don't need these extra capacity anymore. So you can let the van go, let the limo go. You don't need that anymore. And that's what is called bursting, cloud bursting, B-U-R-S-T-I-N-G. When you need capacity, you burst into the public cloud. When you're done using it, you come back home and stay in your private cloud.
It's the same concept like Elastic.
Elastic has this connotation of expanding the number of machines that you're using for a particular task, for a particular job.
Okay.
Although, yes, in high, if you look from a higher level up, from a 20,000-foot view perspective, you can call it elastic. But the common industry term usage is cloud bursting. Or some people call it breathing into the public cloud and breathing out of the cloud, out of the public cloud back into your private. And so the critical distinction between private and public is, hey, it is my private property that I have it, versus a property that I actually have a bus service or a rental car service or a van service, van rental service. So then I have these vans. If I do not rent my vans, then they are all my private vans. If I start renting some of them to other people, that become my public van service, right? That's what a public cloud is. It's a public van service, as opposed to my private van, which I have it, I can go wherever I want, but it's my private. I'm not renting. That's what a private cloud would become. I have it, I use it, and I have, a fleet of limos in my office, and I use them all for my private use. That's my private cloud.
So private clouds are much more secure as well. Is that correct?
Not necessarily. The security has to do with who can access. Whether you allow people to access or not is immaterial. So let's say I have a limousine and it's a big one. I keep it private. Can people still hack into it and enter it and steal stuff? Yes. Yeah. Let's say I have another limousine and I decide to rent that limousine to other people. Is it more secure to which of these two limousines? I have one limousine called A and the other limousine called B. I keep my limousine A private to me. I use it. I go wherever I want. Go to Texas, go to Alaska, wherever I want. Take it. And that is my private limousine. And it is parked outside in public areas, but it is still my private limousine. And the other limousine I have is limousine B, and I rent it. And my driver will go around driving other people. And do you know which one is more secure? Is it public limousine or the private limousine? Which one is more secure?
I guess public.
Hmm?
Both the same.
Either of them, really. Anybody can still steal it.
Yeah, exactly. The same thing applies to public cloud and private cloud. The fact that your public cloud is on public, that people are renting it, has nothing to do with the security aspect of it. It's just the fact that your limousine is available to public. It may be less likely or maybe more likely to get hacked, and that people will be entering your limousine if people who are using it leave it on the road, open doors, somebody might walk into it, right? That's a risk if you leave the door open. If you have a private limousine and you park somewhere in, I don't know, New York, some shady place, and if it's your private limousine, you leave it out there and somebody shatters the windows and enters it. Does that make it less secure, more secure? What do you think? Did I lose you?
Yes, secure, man.
Yeah, it actually, security has not really an implication on whether it's public or private. The implications are whether your doors are open or not, whether your windows are protected or not, whether you're parking your limousine in a safe place or not, whether you have a security guard going along with the limousine or not. These aspects matter, not whether your limousine is available only for you or used by other people for rent. So that aspect alone does not decide whether it is secure or not. What decides security is whether you have an armed guard, whether the driver has a gun, or whether the doors are not left open. These aspects actually decide security, not whether you rent it or not. Right? Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. So this OpenStack business is a method of creating your cloud. Most companies typically use OpenStack for private cloud. Some companies use it for public cloud, like HP, like Cisco, like IBM. These companies are able to use it for public cloud because people will be able to rent from them because they're big name companies and they have large machines set up, deployed in data centers that will have OpenStack deployed, and they're using it as a business to make money, to rent their cloud. That makes the HP cloud a public cloud. HP also has some private instances deployed that they don't want to share with us, with anybody else. And those instances are their private cloud. Right?
Yeah.
So would you set up your own private cloud using OpenStack before next time we meet, using the instructions I gave you? Can you do that? I would be, first of all, if you have a machine already that you can destroy, do you? Do you have a
That's a fine one.
If you're able to find a machine you can destroy, it will be awesome to see one of you create an OpenStack deployment and bring into the classroom. That will be amazing.
And the machine has to be 2 gig RAM and
4 gig. 4 gig RAM.
oh, the machine is 4 gig RAM.
Yeah, 4 gig RAM and a CPU that supports virtualization.
But on the step you have it on the thousand instead on the hardware machine at least 2 gig RAM.
Where did I say that?
No, the link you sent us, the OpenStack.redhat.com.
Does it say 8 gig RAM? Let's see.
No, it's just 2 gig RAM.
Where? I did not see that. Okay, machine with at least 2 GB RAM, hardware virtualization, extension, and 1 network adapter. That's correct then. You know what? You're right. This is what is needed. This is accurate. This is accurate. So if you have a box like that, then it will work. You need to get CentOS ISO. You need to go here and download the ISO from here, one of these links. One of these links will give you a ISO file, which is a DVD, and you burn that DVD ISO onto a USB drive. So how to burn an ISO file to USB? You can do that using one of these methods. And then you have the USB stick. You use that USB stick to boot up this blank empty machine and then set up CentOS, this OS, CentOS. And then when you're done, then you do step number 1, 2, and 3, and you're ready. That's the idea.
Okay.
Give it a shot. If you have a machine, you need to be able to use it. It will work, no problem.
Yeah, fine.
So when you set up that software, that OpenStack software on a laptop like that or a larger computer like that, it will expose a dashboard. This is the dashboard that you saw when you saw TriStack. Whatever you see next is the dashboard, which is here. And this is the view into what that OpenStack deployment is when you install it. And when you have it running, it lets you use OpenStack. So you can see how it works. And what I intend to do next is to help you understand what components go inside in the OpenStack software itself. So we'll take a look at the architecture.
You said we have 2 computers, right? One working and one we destroyed. What are you going to do with the working computer?
The working computer will be useful for you to actually connect to the OpenStack, because the OpenStack machine will not have anything that you can visually see. Right? It will not have much things to see because there will not be a user interface. There will not be a dashboard like this. This dashboard, you need another computer, and go to that computer. Let me show you one more thing. So hold on. So let's say I'm writing on a piece of paper. So let's say we have machine number 1. This runs OpenStack. Okay. We call this machine Vivek. And there's the other machine, which is Vivek's OpenStack, Vivek's Windows machine. On the machine that runs OpenStack, you need to find its IP address. And that IP address is, let's say it is http://bibek. You have to go to this machine on Windows, open a browser, and visit this. And when you do that, you will see this.
Okay.
But without the other machine, you cannot see anything much in the Bibek machine. So let's to simplify, this Windows laptop that you have. On that laptop, you need to open a browser and visit the other machine. And when you do that, you will.
How do we connect our machine to the cloud? I mean, how do we connect to the internet? Since we do not have anything.
You have a router in your home, right? The router
Yeah.
connects to the internet.
Okay, use the wire.
Now you get that?
Yeah, that's right.
This is how you would connect in your home. And this Bibek machine will run CentOS.
And that will be my private cloud, right?
Yes. It will become your cloud. Now, if you decide to start renting your machine instances to other people, it becomes your public cloud. If you do not rent it, it remains your private cloud.
Okay.
Excuse me. Now you understand the picture?
Yeah.
Cool. So in that box that you just set up, like this Vivek machine, if you this becomes your limousine. You either keep the limousine personal, private, or you decide to rent it. If you rent it, it becomes your public limo. If you keep it private, it remains your private limo. The same idea here. It's your cloud. You decide to rent it, it becomes public cloud. It is too small for anybody to actually rent from you, so nobody would get you. You would not probably not get a customer. I don't think you will get a customer, but it becomes a public cloud.
Okay.
You have to do a whole lot of things in addition to just this one laptop, which you understand what would that be, is to actually buy a proper data center, set up machines, manage the whole thing, and let other people use it. And then in that case, it becomes somewhat usable public cloud. You still cannot compete with HP cloud because HP is way too big, and you have to actually make a lot of investment into your cloud to make it competitive with HP, for example, or IBM or Cisco. So it's a very competitive business, but technically possible. You can do it that way. That's why large companies are able to do it. Not many companies do this way. Not many companies enter the business of providing public cloud. Only there are a handful of companies that do that, right?
Yeah.
Most companies actually interested in using a public cloud or creating their own private cloud for their own internal use. That's the dominant usage. Now, this software that we are discussing, OpenStack, helps you create your cloud. And you can create in your company and keep it private and use it. That's what many companies are doing. That's the reason why we are studying it. That's the reason why we are going to make use of it next time we meet. Right?
Oh, we're gonna do this in class?
Oh yes. I'll bring this thing in the classroom. I have done these steps already. And so I want to bring all the way from step number 1 through 15. I have done it already. And when we meet next time, I want you to begin from step number 18. Line number 18 is to open your browser, go to http:// instead of bibback, we'll give you some other IP address. Some IP address here. And then you visit that and you will see OpenStack dashboard. That's what you will do when we meet next time. And so you will have Bibek here for your machine, but I will have some other name. I don't know what that name would be right now. So I've already done these steps, so all the way from line number 1 through 15. And I want you to do 18, 19, and 20. And so it's a very simple step for you to do because I've already done the primitive early steps. If you can do the early steps also, that will be awesome.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that. I have a old laptop that's on Windows Vista, so
yeah,
try to find a way to back up everything. Then.
Yeah. Yes, makes sense. And it will be a good exercise. It helps you understand. By the way, did you also get a chance to read some of the assignments that I had given early on, which is, hold on.
7 or 8 assignments.
Yeah, there's a reading assignment I gave, right? Where was the reading assignment I sent somewhere? Didn't I give it? It disappeared from my screen.
I think you showed it to us, but is it posted on Classroom now?
I think I did. It doesn't exist anymore. So what I think I remember doing was that I said that you want to read these segments all the way from 1 through 5.
Yeah.
That's what I suggested that you read. So have you started reading these things?
No, yeah. Not yet, but I'll do it.
Okay. I think you should. I think we had Toma joining in. I think I saw Toma.
Yeah.
Yes.
Toma is there.
Hi, Toma. How are you doing? So my next thinking that I have is I want to ask you, what do you want us to do next right now in the remaining time we have 45 minutes about? What do we want to discuss further? I want you to actually read these things before I describe them to you. It is, yeah, it is reading assignment. So do you think you should be able to at least skim through some of the things, at least read the introduction part?
Right now?
No, not right now, but before the class, will you be able to finish it?
Yeah, I tried to finish it before the class.
Sweet deal. Good deal. So, question for you. What do you want us to discuss next? It is, yeah, it is. Any thoughts? What do you want us to cover now?
Whatever you have in mind. I don't have any.
Yep. So we run Saturday discussions primarily to help you understand and answer your questions. Or if you're studying a specific thing, or if you're doing something that you want to ask questions about, is what I'm looking for. Is what is it that you want me to talk about that I will talk about that topic instead? Is the comment I have. So if you have something specific that you want us to discuss right now, bring it on.
An issue is getting the whole process that we talked about last week on Saturday done. I ran into a hiccup at the end of the project. We were deploying was it our using Chef deploying was Nginx, was it?
One second, let me just see what I have here.
So the last time I think we deployed our, what was that thing we did? Hold on.
Lamb.
Lamb stack. Yes, we did this thing the last time.
I had a hard time finishing
You had a hard time finishing, meaning where were you stuck? That's the question I have. So bring up your machine and show me where were you stuck. In what step?
I'm getting it. My computer's being fussy.
So I think I lost what Aaron was saying a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't hear him properly either. His voice is so low.
Yeah, I think he's no.
No, I can't hear you still.
I'm gonna swap. I'm gonna get on my computer and use my computer.
Daniel?
Hey, Toma.
Yes.
Did you succeed this exercise with the chef deployment exercise using chef to deploy lamp stack? Did you complete that part?
No, I was still stuck on the PEM.
Yeah, I know. The last time you
I
were
have my PEM file.
right. The last time you were trying to access, you had a PEM file issue. So it will be awesome if you can share your screen to let us understand what I think you were using my PEM files as opposed to yours, is what I
Right.
remember. So if you can
Okay.
show me your desktop, I can pinpoint to you where exactly you need to change, and then you can follow along and make these things work for you.
Can you hear me?
Yes. So
Okay.
Yeah.
the way to do that for you, Toma, would be to click on a button at the bottom of your screen that says plus. On the screen, you will have a plus button at the bottom, and that
Yes,
will allow you to project your screen to for everybody to see.
Yes, I'm on my phone right now. I'm almost in my room.
I
I'm
see.
literally like seconds away from my room, and I'll reboot my computer.
Okay.
And I'll start my computer up.
Yeah.
I am. Let's see. Can you hear me still?
Yep.
Okay, good. I can share my screen. Here it comes. Do you see?
Yep.
And do you see my Ubuntu?
Yep.
Okay, good. So where was I? That's the question. Crap. What had I done? So environments, data bags, I've got all that stuff done. My data bags are there, secrets. Okay, so I just need to check status, right?
Yep. Check your.
What
No,
would be a
there is no
command that I
knife.
use? I'm kind of lost.
So you should go back to your write-up and recall what steps have you already done.
Okay.
And follow along the write-up to a point where you remember you were the last time, and that will give you an idea as to what was the state at the last attempt. And from that, we can continue roll forward.
I believe I had already deployed my instance, but I wasn't sure. So let's go Cloud Genius. And remind me, what was the
So the way to go there is library.cloudgenius. Not classroom, but library.
map stack? There it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here we go.
Yeah, so this is a good beginning point. Check your knife configuration file and make sure that your keys are your own as opposed to somebody else's, which I think Toma had that issue.
Okay, so where do I do that?
You want to open your knife RV file and compare with what you have here.
Okay, I can do that. Ooh, that's gonna be hard to do on here.
Because it is hidden.
So,
You go to the terminal, put it on the side, and that's where you can find out what chef.
Yes, can I ask you a question
Yes, please. Vivek?
on the knife? Are we While when you edit it,
Mm-hmm.
your right of you have cookbook copyrights, cookbook email, and your license.
Mm-hmm.
When I didn't put anything. I deleted everything. Like, does that make any difference?
No, no, these are optional things. They do not make a big difference. They'll help you in pre-populating your name and your license information when you create your own cookbook.
So the license, I can just type anything I want, or I have to create it separately.
Anything you want.
Okay.
So knife cookbook status, right?
No.
So everything's good here
How do you know?
because I did it.
No,
These
you
are my
didn't.
keys.
No, no. Just above the key, your line is broken. A line above the key, that cookbook path line is not correct.
This one?
Yeah. The cookbook path line is not matching what you have in the website.
It doesn't. Okay. But where are my cookbooks stored? If that might be correct for mine though, because mine is cookbooks here. It's not in site cookbooks, I don't think. Yeah, no. All my cookbooks are in cookbooks. So for me, that is correct.
Okay.
Okay, so Control X, and then I'm gonna go knife. Oh. Knife. Cookbook
List.
list. So that tells me, list tells me what I have in the server.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, so much stuff to remember. Okay, so I got all my cookbooks. So that's good. Now I need to.
Do you remember the last time you had a failure? What was the failure about?
I believe it was, I had just created my instance. So maybe it was the data bags.
So check your data bags in knife data bag, show secret MySQL.
Knife. Data bag. Show what?
Secrets,
MySQL?
Secrets MySQL. Okay. Now you should also see your MySQL.
I think it was here. This I think this was here. Like, was funky. I'm not sure though.
So if you do not remember exactly what was funky, you should go 2 or 3 steps above that and roll back and try again. Meaning?
It was a big long list that came down. It was doing everything. So it was uploading. And maybe I should just start fresh and do it again. I don't know.
That will be an awesome idea. I absolutely support that idea.
I know I need to. Just finding time is the issue. Let me see what happens when I actually deploy my instance, because I believe that's what it was. So
Finding time is not an issue. So finding time, whenever somebody says, I don't have time, they're really saying that I don't think this is a priority.
I understand completely.
So that's a polite way of saying I don't have time. Essentially, people say that I'm
Some
not.
other things are more
Yeah.
priority.
This item is not a priority for me. That's what they're really saying.
Yes, it is. That's exactly right. Let's see. Creating user, which needs to be a priority.
So the question becomes, what is the priority? And even bigger question, what should be the priority?
Yeah.
Right. I want you to actually answer those questions. In fact, if this is not the priority, then tell me what is the priority?
Making sure everything else is done too.
Like what? Like what?
Like getting ready, all the stuff I have to do for the army, making sure that it's all ready to go, which I think I'm good there now.
When do you leave?
I have to turn in all my stuff next week.
I see. I think that is indeed a priority, and I understand. And I just
got to make sure that's all clean. My house needs to get cleaned. That can wait.
Makes sense. Makes sense. In fact, that is indeed a priority. So do that part totally. It's important to exit and do the things needed to make sure that the exit is appropriate. And yes, it can be time consuming, and I understand that.
Unfortunately, just a lot of stuff piling on.
Yep.
Okay. So if I was to just go ahead and deploy my cloud, let's see, where do I do that? I'm trying to find that here. I just need to run my instance, right?
Yeah. Do you have a Aaron file already saved somewhere?
SH Amazon.
No, don't shoot. Break it.
Don't do it?
No, I want to see the status first, like knife EC2 server list.
Okay.
Knife node list, knife client list.
Okay. Node list and client list. Ooh, whoops. I need to destroy that. How do I do that again?
Knife EC2 server delete.
Crap. Is that correct?
No.
Delete, and then I need to put the
number with a dash S.
The SSH key?
No, that's not the SSH key. This is the instance ID.
The instance ID.
Yeah.
Right. Which would be I-9E.
Correct.
This one.
Yeah.
Oops. Okay. There we go. Yes.
You should also delete your
The nodes.
the node delete and client delete and known host file delete.
Aaron Sweat. So knife. Node delete. Aaron Sweat.
Yes.
Yes. And then you said client.
Client delete.
Is that correct?
Yes, client delete.
What would my client be?
Same Aaron set.
Is it?
Yeah. Now you have to check knife client list, node list, and remove the known host file. Knife node list.
So that Sweat DG validator is okay to have there?
Yes.
Okay.
Then you want to check remove your known host file, which is in your .ssh folder. So
Right.
RM, it's hidden.
That's right.
Known host.
Check.
Yep. Then you want to check your knife EC2 server list, see if it is deleted. Not in this folder.
All right, all right.
Then you have to cat Amazon.
Or else, yo.
Do you see any issue? Why do you want to edit that?
I don't. I just wanted to make sure there was no issue.
Yeah, I don't
I can
see
see it
any.
better this way.
Yeah, I don't
Any
see any issue. I don't see any issue either. No issues.
Nothing's missing.
No.
Okay.
So Control X.
Not too many spaces here.
Too many spaces are okay.
Too many spaces are okay. 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 Now,
SH Amazon.
okay. Sending it. Waiting for instance. So the first step, I've already loaded all my data bags and moving that all the way up to the Chef client, right?
Yeah.
So all the data bags, the environments, the cookbooks, the roles, they've all been sent up to Amazon, or to the Chef client, rather.
Chef server.
Chef server. Okay. So those are all over here in Chef server. Now I'm starting my instance over here in Amazon.
Yes.
And now I'm good, and then I'm going to push all those, run that over here on Amazon, correct?
Yes.
All the stuff from Chef client.
Yes.
Okay. So I think that is where I was having issues.
Okay. So let's find out what exactly the issue is and see how we resolve it.
And you know what? It'll probably work perfectly now because we did it together.
Because the doctor is here.
Exactly. Dr. Cloud has fixed it. Okay. Unpacking my chef. So what is exactly happening? It's just creating the instance. Is it pushing everything to?
No, right now it is just installing Chef and it'll come out of it. And when it comes out,
Okay.
it just came out. So you know SSH into the box you created and run
Okay.
Chef client.
So I'm going to go knife.
No, SSH.
All right. Aaron Sweat, right?
Yeah, SSH to the box, the IP address.
Oh, the IP address, which is
Which is, yeah, right there.
the
54.
public DSN, right?
Public DNS is also okay. The IP address is right below that.
Ah, there we go. That's easier to get.
So you get that,
Copy.
but before you say -I option and give your key,
Wait, do it.
SSH -I,
What does the -I mean?
give your key and remove the IP address first. You have to give your key -I and then the key file, which is IDRSA,
ID _ RSA.
and it is stored in your .ssh. folder.
Then
So don't we
space.
have to add the rules first, or
At
Sorry.
Ubuntu at. It should be Ubuntu at IP address. In
Ubuntu at IP address.
In
Okay.
DigitalOcean, it is
Aha.
root at IP address. So your ID RSA is also wrong.
.pub.
No. You have to give a full path to it, like .ssh location.
Okay.
So tilde slash,
Someday, yeah.
not this, tilde slash
Someday slash
dot ssh slash
dot ssh
slash
slash.
ID RSA and then Ubuntu at IP address.
Okay, so I want to give. I'm
Ubuntu.
SSHing using the I's using this IDS using the path, and then specify the path to my key file,
That's right.
and then say I'm going into Ubuntu because that's the instance I created. Otherwise, it could be Fedora or Red Hat or whatever instance I created at this IP address.
This is actually Ubuntu is the username, not the instance.
Okay, that's the username, and it's just because that's default for EC2. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right, here we go.
So here we are connected, and now we
Connected.
will run sudo chef client here.
Sudo chef client.
No, chef dash client.
Chef dash client.
How do I remember these things?
Because you do them a lot.
I know.
The key to adult learning is repetition.
Okay. So it had an empty run list, which means that you're skipping some steps. So you need to go back to the write-up, and you need to do certain
So
steps.
I need to control D.
So Control D, come out, go to the browser, finish the skip
he
steps.
has to add the rules, right? He deleted the rules.
Maybe he did not delete the rules, but he did not add roles to the run list. Like right now, if you scroll the mouse a little bit down,
Hold on.
mouse.
Nice roles.
No, hold on. You have it. It's
Okay.
not roles list, but role list.
Ah, roll list. My bad.
So you have the roles there. The
Okay.
thing I want to see is your DB master role. Can you type out your DB master role in the terminal? So say
How do I do that?
cat roles, cat roles, DB master tab.
Gat
No cat.
or
Cat.
get? Oh, cat.
The cat, the pet. Roles slash DB master tab. Tab. Enter.
Got it.
Okay, the role is okay. So we want to go back to the write-up and finish up the other steps before you run chef client. And these are where your mouse is. So your mouse is right there. That's where you go.
Already done this.
Yeah, so you did not do these
I need to
steps.
do these.
Yeah, these steps
Right
you
here.
did not. So you need to do them one by one.
Okay.
And you just cannot copy and paste. You have to modify it. You have to add the node name to your own node. You have to say
Maybe
Aaron
this is where I
Sweat.
got cut.
You have to say Aaron Sweat instead of these things.
And so I'm going to say copy that one.
Copy the whole thing and then remove or whatever you want. So yeah, you can do the way you like. And so you
Okay,
paste.
so
Yeah, and
run
so
list add.
Aaron Sweat is the node name you have.
Okay.
And then finish off with that remainder, which is role. Oh, not like that.
Roll target base. Right?
Yep. And keep going for
So
the other
the
roles.
base is, what is the base?
Base-
Help me to understand that. What I'm
base-
saying there.
Base is the set of features and functions you want to have. Every node should get that. It's common to all the nodes you will have. And that's what is
Base.
defined in the base role.
Okay. So enter.
Yep.
Bam.
Yeah, keep going.
Good to go.
So up arrow,
Now
just
I'm gonna go.
up arrow, and modify the base.
Yep. Now it's gonna say DB master.
Yep.
Master.
Yes.
Enter.
Up arrow, another one.
Yep. Oops, not yet. There we go. Now it's going to be web server, right?
Yes.
Okay. Role is there.
Now you check in production mode, that line, this one.
Okay.
And again,
But
it's
instead of
Aaron
cloud
Sweat.
genius,
Yes.
I do Aaron. Got it.
So we have this opportunity to run an hour of code.
I saw that.
Is that not interesting enough?
I'd like to do it.
Okay. Thank you. Let's do it.
When is it today?
No, you decide. The idea is to train. Idea is for you to train your fellow soldiers. 1 hour of code. You know why this is important? Do you know?
Teaching?
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want.
It's just, I don't think I have the confidence yet.
I know
Someone else.
you don't have the confidence yet, but I will be there with you. So don't worry about that.
Okay.
I will be there with you.
That I can do. Okay, so now there's no.
You did not put production.
Oh, okay.
Hold on.
Here, I didn't press prod either.
No, hold on. I think I misspoke.
Okay. Oh, whoops! I know what's going on. That wasn't there.
No, there are 2 nodes.
Let's try that.
No.
Yeah.
Still a typo.
My bad. Still not there.
No, there are 2 nodes. There's a node show node.
I did that.
No, that's not right.
Oh, I got it. I know what's wrong. I did the second node because it said node.cloud. Got it. Ah, success.
And yeah, now you go up arrow, SSH up arrow. Say SSH up arrow.
Okay.
SSH up. Enter.
Got it.
And say sudo chef client or just up arrow. Enter. Up arrow. Enter. Now this time it will do the whole thing. And now it'll take like 2 minutes. So while it is doing, I want to talk about this idea that I have, which is about what is it called? An hour of code. That's what I want to talk about. So here is my idea. My thinking is I will be there with you all the time. I want you to teach your fellow soldiers how to code.
Okay.
Even if they're not in the classroom, the people from outside the class, public, anybody in JBM can come. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Invite everybody in JBLM to come attend Stone Education Center at 1 hour. We decide that hour. We decide it together. I will be there with you. And I need you to help them code something, train them, help them understand what it is. It is people who have never touched computers, those people. It is useful because of one simple thing. You get to write about it on your resume. You get to talk about it in the interview. You get to tell people that you are actively, highly interested in something related to technology. So much that you are able to organize such an event and train common soldiers. I should not, soldiers are not common, but for you they are.
Right.
Soldiers are not common, they're special people. So for you it is common. So yeah, common on the street, JBLM street soldier that you brought into Stone Education Center. And that soldier that you were able to teach him how to code by spending an hour of time working through the hour of code program. And it's a national thing. It happens the entire week. Everybody's doing it. And it's a thing to do it because of one simple reason. You get to talk about it in the interview. That, hey, I did an hour of code and I trained 35 soldiers. What did I do? This is what I did. I helped them run a simple Rails application on the Heroku cloud. Bingo. That's the talking point I want to build for you.
Okay.
That's the whole reason I am suggesting this hour. I don't gain anything here. You gain it.
Right.
Do you understand, Toma? Toma is muted. But do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, yes, I understand that.
Is it worthwhile spending that 2 or 3 hours? It's not going to be just 1 hour. It will be more than 1 hour. For the 1 hour is
the way you just explained it. It makes a lot of sense. Not only do I learn a lot from it as well, but like you said, I get to talk about it during an interview. So.
Exactly. Make all the points you can. Bring up, do everything you can to talk nicely in the interview so that you sound somebody who's interested, somebody who's able to, somebody who has done it, as opposed to talking about your past experience, which may not be directly relevant. You understand the problem? You talk about something in the past that may not be relevant to people in technology industry. So talk about what they understand. Show your interest. That's another opportunity. It is for you. Take it. I will be there with you. I'll not leave you alone.
Oh, it's cruising. It's
I know it is doing it. It is working.
Yeah, see?
I know.
I told you, all I needed was you here.
I know. I know it is working. So I want to talk to Vivek also about this hour of code. Is that interesting to you, Vivek?
Yes, it is.
Do you understand that I will be there with you, not running away from you?
Yes, I do.
Do you think you can do it?
Probably, yeah.
There is no probably here.
Yeah,
Either
find
you-
out what to talk about.
I know. I open that email, please, Vivek. Open that email that I sent. So, and show it to us. There was an email about this topic, right?
Yes.
So open it up, share your desktop, and let us discuss that email. I wrote very specifically what I want to do that day, whenever we do it. And I hope Daniel is listening. Hey, Daniel, I know you're doing some drum business there, but if you're listening, please listen.
Get grants from the government. Yeah, the government, and they're building here in Lacey. They're putting one on post. There's actually multiple states that help. The mayor of Lacey wants to hear that.
Did you find the email, Vivek?
Yeah,
My
looking for it. I know.
Okay.
chief operations officer and co-founder was one of my.
Daniel, you're being noisy. Hello?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Just want to make sure. It went really silent. I was like, is somebody there?
Yeah.
Okay, it did it. It said it's good.
Show me. Start showing again.
Awesome.
Yeah, I want to see the result. I think it worked.
Oh, can you see my screen?
Not yet. So I'm betting it worked. You need to project your screen, Aaron. And I'm betting it worked. You still have to do last few steps to make WordPress running. And so I want you to do that while I look up this day, an hour of code email also. So while you finish off the last few steps, while you project your screen, I will.
Okay. Do you see my screen?
Yeah, I see some email system. I want you to see the.
There we go. Here it is.
Yeah. So here you have it succeeded, which is awesome, awesome, beautiful. Let us finish off.
Yay.
Some of the checking steps, steps to check DB login. So check that login step, check DB login.
Check DB login, MySQL.
Yeah, type like that, whatever that thing is. MySQL-u root and then password. This password is defined in your data bag, right? 1, 2, 3.
What is the root? What is this?
Use the username, P is the password. No, it's not dash 1, 2, 3. It's P password 1, 2, 3. U is the username, root is the user.
Root is user. Got it. So it could be Aaron Sweat if I had that as my username.
Correct.
You, Aaron Sweat. Okay, got it.
And it worked.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yay.
And now here
wait,
in
did I
the
get here before? I feel like I got here before, but I wasn't.
Yeah,
able
this
to-
is where I got stuck.
so at this moment you
I
need
didn't know what to do.
yeah, at this moment you need to create an empty database named WordPress.
Okay, so I do that. I think this is actually where I got stuck.
No, hold on.
I remember this
just,
now.
just read that. Read it says create an empty database named boom.
Yes,
MySQL.
that's copy and paste.
So you have
Whole
to
thing?
so not whole, this thing is already done. This part is already done. The next part, yeah, this part is you have to do with a semicolon. Put a
That was
semicolon.
confusing.
Semicolon,
Yeah.
please. Semicolon,
Just like
please. Semicolon, please.
Semicolon.
Enter.
Okay. Enter.
Beautiful. Next step, set database permissions.
Okay. So this whole thing.
Yeah, the one by one, whole thing.
Copy. Okay.
Yeah, it's purely one by one, line after line, and you're done. At this moment, there is no change in anything. Just one at a time, not two at a time, but one at a time.
Okay. It won't work if I do both of them at a time.
No.
Paste. Okay. So grant usage. So I created a user, and then I granted the user permission, correct?
Yes.
And now I'm granting all the privileges of WordPress to that user. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes. And now you want to come out of it. Control D.
Control D.
Now in that setup WordPress, this is how you do it.
Okay.
Keep going.
Copy. Okay, so I'm doing this, but I'm doing this in my cloud, on
Yeah.
my instance.
On the cloud, you downloaded WordPress.
I just downloaded WordPress.
That's right.
Now I'm installing, I'm opening it.
Yeah,
correct?
unzipping it.
Unzipping, okay, yeah.
And you just did.
Guitar.
You just unzipped. Then you move it.
I'm moving it.
So removing some file you don't need and then removing it in that place. So this is a deletion step. You're deleting
Okay.
something in that spot. And in that spot, after you delete that, you move your WordPress into that location.
Okay.
And then you change
So,
permissions for
on that
WordPress.
step,
Uh-huh.
on that step, you delete the www folder, right?
Yes.
And instead that, you move the WordPress folder in there.
Yes,
So what did this last step just do?
permissions.
What do you mean? It granted permissions?
Granted
or-
permissions for that www folder to the user called www-data.
Okay.
And so now you should open the IP address in your browser and you see WordPress going. You're done. Not this IP address, no, but Control D and get the IP address. Control D,
Got it.
and that's the IP address. So open that in a browser window,
Yes.
and you should see WordPress live and running. And there it is. So continue,
Yay!
continue, keep going,
So I did a lamp stack.
keep going. Let's go,
Okay, I'm going. Let's do this.
let's go. Click, and let's go at the bottom. Everything is populated for you, filled. Submit, and say run the install, and give it title. Say Aaron's public WordPress deployment through Chef.
Aaron's lamp.
Lamp. And put a username, password twice. Password should be very secure. Like
Right.
123, for example.
Wordy.
Yeah. And it needs to match, and then
Sure.
you keep going, you put your email address,
Yeah.
and then you install WordPress, and you log in. You put in your login and password, and you are in WordPress.
Login.
There it is.
Yay. And then I can customize my site.
Do whatever
Whatever.
you want, all that good stuff.
And this just cost me money of running it on Amazon.
Yeah, 2 cents per hour.
Okay. So it can get expensive over the month or the year.
Not really. For the first year, it is free.
Ah. Well, fine.
No, don't leave it running. You're not using it.
I know I'm not going to. Hello world. What is the typical thing with coding? Like all the Ruby stuff, the first thing you do is make it say hello world.
So several, I think maybe decades ago, there was a person whose name is Kernighan and Ritchie. Two people wrote a book on C language. Kernighan,
Okay.
Ritchie. And those people first wrote the program to train. In the introduction chapter, there's a very first sample program written that said, hello world. And that is where everybody picks it up from. So everything in computer science is hello world.
Okay.
That's where it comes from.
Alrighty.
So congratulations on finally successfully installing LAMP stack using Chef that you did.
So I should do that again from scratch.
Yeah, you should do that like 10 more times to understand what it is, and then you will be golden. Then you can really talk about it.
Okay, so now I'm gonna go knife.
Yeah, you basically clean up. So I want you to, so hold on, listen. I want you to destroy the whole thing later. Right now, I want to talk about this hour of code. So I'm taking screen control from you.
Go for it.
Okay. So it goes away from you, and I'm putting it to Vivek. Let's see what Vivek has for us. Did you find that email, Vivek?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Let's see if we can get Daniel to talk, or he's still talking to somebody else. Hey, Daniel. I think he's busy. So our idea here is, this is what I'm thinking. Early December, we find a location on the base, such as Stone Education Center Conference Auditorium, where people as in soldiers, not common people, soldiers, can access the internet using their own laptops. We give them our virtual machine, and we help them write a simple Ruby on Rails program and deploy it on Heroku, like you have done already.
Right.
And there is a write-up. That's what we want to follow.
It says the time, something like that.
Huh?
It says the time or something like that.
I did not understand, Aaron.
The last one we wrote with Heroku just said the time.
Correct.
So the time
Yes. The time right now is blah. Whatever. Yes, that's correct. That's the exercise I think we should give people for them to try, to help them understand what does it take to build a Ruby on Rails website.
So it's gonna be like I'm teaching one day and Aaron's teaching another day, or
no, all of us together at one time. Go to Stone Education Center. I will be there with you, and all of us together will teach a bunch of soldiers, hundreds of them, ideally.
Okay.
Can you do it? Can you pull it off? Can you bring 100 people?
Oh, we have to find the soldiers. Okay.
I know. Otherwise, what's the point of doing it? You have to actually.
Put something out to my chain of command.
This is, I think, what I am suggesting is that if you do this, you get to talk about it in the interviews. That I trained 100 soldiers. Yeah, that is so powerful to talk about it like this.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
That's what I want you to do. It is an opportunity. It's very well-known thing. This hour of code is very well-known. Now, can you, in your words, help me understand what did I just tell you? Anybody? Toma, Aaron, Vivek, anybody? Please tell me, what did I tell you? And is this something that is interesting?
Find soldiers, teach them our code so that we can talk about it now.
The total time commitment needed is probably 3 hours. So you and I, all of us, be there at Stone Education Center, 3 hours it will take for us. For soldiers on the street, it will take 1 hour. They'll come, 1 hour, go.
Is it gonna be on weekends or weekdays?
You decide.
Okay.
You tell me what is good. You just
on the weekdays, because I don't think Stone Edge opens on the weekends, do they?
They do, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
So if it is not Stone Education, find another building. Find American Lake Conference Center. Find some other location and do it there and invite the whole base. I'm not kidding. Invite the whole base. Everybody invited. Put it on Facebook, Twitter, and all of your internal pages. And put it on JBL and ACAP and any other place that you know of. And get soldiers to attend the hour of code. And have them bring their laptops and train them with me how to do it.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting, yeah.
Is it interesting or boring?
Interesting.
Interesting, I like it.
Why it is interesting? Tell me, why would you do it?
So that we can talk to our employer about an event that we organized and taught X amount of soldiers to do code.
That's correct. Bingo. Bingo. Nail it. I will be there with you. Do it.
Sure. Yeah.
It is very easy for you. Well, literally, if you think about it, it is not that difficult. You already done it.
Yeah.
You take the virtual machine, put it on their machines, make it run, connect to the internet, help them understand what it takes, roll it out, talk to them. I will talk, you will talk, help them do it. They go home, you go home.
Awesome. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Now, if this is interesting, I would like you to reply to this.
I will, yeah.
And then the next thing is to organize it. So we have this, what is his name? Daniel. Hey, Daniel, are you still there? Daniel?
He's there, he's not there.
He's busy organizing something, I guess. He's organized like major events at Germany and in JBLM and all that good stuff. He's done it already. He knows how to pull things off. So that's the reason I'm trying to get his attention, but he's not listening.
Hey, Nalish,
Yes.
I deleted my nodes, my cookbooks, my data bags. Do I need to delete my environment?
No. So knife node delete, knife client delete, knife server delete, and your known host file delete.
Okay.
So does any of you know how to book, say, American Lake Conference Center or something like that? Which
No,
is
but we can definitely go there and ask them to find out.
which is the biggest of these all places? Which is the biggest place? Is it Stone? Is it American Lake?
I think I make it.
So book American Lake and let us book it quickly and start advertising it. We have 15 days, about 15, 20 days for it to happen.
That might be a little too much in 15 days. You might need to do the Stone Ed classroom.
Why? Tell me why. Tell me what's going on.
We can try. I don't know if we'll be able to get it in that amount of time.
What do you want to get?
We can talk to them.
What do you want to get? I did not understand. What's the get part? Get the room?
Yeah.
Get the African Lake Conference Center.
So Jeff Collins checked with Stone and Stone is available.
Okay.
So talk to Jeff and figure out.
Jeff?
Yeah, Jeff Collins already pinged them and Stone said, yes, it is available.
Okay.
So
Cool.
it's not that big a deal.
Awesome.
Let's check with American Lake also and finalize that date before we meet Tuesday. And so on Tuesday, I want to make this solid and concrete. And I want to start advertising internally on base, on Facebook, on Twitter, your internal staff, chain of command. Everybody should know that you are organizing this hour of code and just do it. What do you think?
I like it.
I like it too.
I think Daniel has a lot of kids going around his home or something.
Yeah, he does.
So I muted him.
Am I still sharing the screen right now? Or?
Yeah, you are sharing your screen, Vivek, right now. So my next question is this exercise about using Rails, is that too complex, too difficult? For a common soldier?
I'm gonna try it on my own and.
Right, for a common soldier on the street, is it too difficult? Do we want to even go simpler than that? That's okay. We can do that.
No, I think it'd be okay. I don't think that'll be too hard as long as we just walk them through it and show them what to do and explain all the steps and what they're actually doing and all the steps that they understand it properly and understand it fully. I think it'll be okay for them to understand.
Right. The challenges would be to have them running a virtual machine itself will take 10, 20 minutes.
Right.
And then they start the hour of code, which will be a little bit time consuming. So I want to further simplify the actual work. Our goal is to make it meaningful, but not too complex for them to understand what coding entails. What does it take to build a site through Ruby and Rails? We don't want to scare them away. We want to keep it simple, comprehensible, understandable, doable in the hour. And for you, the benefit is very clear in my mind. This becomes another talking point for you that says that, you know what, we so many of us in the class organized this event. We trained our fellow soldiers in how to code using whatever, blah, Ruby on Rails. We did that as a part of hour of code. That's our goal. That's what you get.
Yes.
Nail it. Do it. Find a good location and lock it. Reserve it. And once you reserve it, then we will advertise it and bring people in. We'll put a campaign together and invite people. And it's a good thing to do. This is happening on Obama's office also, by the way, is what I understand. Obama is also running it. So people will know it. People will know this is happening. In fact, if you scroll a little bit, you will have further news on the Hour of Code website. If you go to hourofcode.com, you will find a little bit more.
Okay.
Lots of people are doing it in the first week of December. Hour of Code, you will find a whole lot of detail.
So is this online too?
Yes, you can do it online also. If you don't get American Lake Conference or don't get Stonehead, we can do it online. But I think it is better to do it in face-to-face.
Yeah.
Totally.
Okay, let's talk more about this thing when we meet next time, which is Tuesday. And I want to finalize it on Tuesday, ideally. So before that, on Monday, I would like to have you identify some places such as Stonehead or American Lake or whatever else and make a reservation there. I don't think they will charge you. Will they?
I have no idea.
Stone doesn't,
don't know.
Stone doesn't charge. And I think American Lake will not charge you. They might charge somebody else. But they will definitely not charge you.
Hey, Nalish, how do I move a file? What's the command again?
MV.
RM?
MV.
Move. MV. Aha, thank you.
So we have some special guests today to tell us all about the season.
Okay.
Okay. So do you want to discuss something else or meet Tuesday when we discuss the Hour of Code?
For me, I think I have to leave now, so we'll discuss on Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta get online with my kiddos.
Makes sense. So I'll hang up on this call. I'll see you Tuesday. In the meanwhile, think about either American Lake or Stonehead and find out what times would be best and book them.
Okay.
And let's lock and load and do it.
And one more. Is this only for the active duty or the clients?
Anybody, public is invited.
Okay.
Don't limit. And
Okay.
if you can enter the base, you can come.
Okay.
Open to all.
Good.
Cool. Good stuff.
Yep.
I know somebody I'd like to invite. This is not a soldier.
It doesn't have to be a soldier. We need
Yep.
people. We need
Okay.
smart people. That's it.
I'll get him on. He's smart. I'll get him in. Sweet.
Okay.
Good. And I think I'm all cleaned up
Yep. Sweet deal.
on top of that.
And congratulations finishing up the setup. Beautiful.
Thank you. I should do it again.
Yep.
Do it again from scratch.
Indeed. Bye, guys.
Completely from scratch. I'm gonna get new keys and everything.
Yep.
Hey, thank you, Nalish, for your time.
You're welcome.
Have a great Saturday and a Sunday, and we'll see you on Tuesday.
Yes, indeed. See you there.
Bye. Take care. Bye.
Later, gentlemen.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.